Alright, let's see if this is working. But I'm so happy right now, man. I'm not even mad I got a lot of my tips wrong. I got everything right on Sunday, in fairness. But also got an Adelaide tip, right? What a thing to wake up to. I watched the first quarter. I watched the first quarter of the Hawks, but I couldn't stay up. I went to bed. And 74 points. What a sweet victory! I mean, we smashed Richmond earlier this season. We smashed Collingwood earlier this season. Those felt great. This feels great as well. And this one was so good that it put us in the eight. What an amazing feeling, man. Let me just put this stream chat in, and then we can get started. Port in second is wild. Well, they're doing well enough to be there, I guess. Carlton is cooked. I know, right? You got 2 out of 9. I got 5, to be fair. I'm surprised. I got so many wrong on Saturday. See, now I believe that. But I did say we'll beat Carlton. I just wasn't sure we beat them by enough to overtake them. But I've been saying we'll beat Carlton. But yeah, what an amazing feeling, man. I fell asleep at quarter time. I was watching the first quarter. I was like, oh, interesting. We actually had quite a good lead, and we had quite a good lead, and then it went back to like 1 point. I'm just like, oh dear, it's going to be a long day. So I went to bed because I was tired. If I wasn't tired, I would have stayed up. But I went to bed. It was nice watching it, just me, to be honest, without any distractions. But yeah, I fell asleep. I thought I'm hoping to wake up to a Hawks victory. I wake up and we've bloody destroyed them. 16-16, 112 to 5-8-38. That is an absolute mauling. Destroyed them. And there you go. In round 22, we are in the 8, and what we got in front of us is Richmond and North Melbourne. So it's looking good. It's looking good. But yeah. Hawks winning the flag now. Oh, I wouldn't go that far, mate, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it. It was amazing to wake up to. And then I saw that the Dogs lost to Adelaide. I'm just like, I got the tip right, guys. Yes. I literally tipped Adelaide just for the fun of it. I just thought, hey, I got to tip an underdog. I tipped Richmond first. I changed my mind. Then I tipped Adelaide. I'm just like, yeah, it's not good. Bulldogs will win. I just tipped them because, just take a risk that they have to be taken. And then they won. So yeah, this is kind of crazy because Dogs lost. Obviously, we smashed the Blues. Essendon lost. Collingwood are down there choking in the last quarter. Flipping, this ladder looks crazy, and we're only 2 points behind Freo. I saw some Freo fans talking about flipping getting the minor premiership 69-420. Now you're only 2 points ahead of Hawthorn. You better sleep one eye open. Sleep with one eye open, mates. Sleep with one eye open. Where's Graz? Come outside, Graz. 2 points. 2 points for coming. We're bloody coming. What a nice weekend this was. And I spent all, yesterday after the stream, I spent all day at the cinema. I went and watched 4 movies in one day. Then I came home at like midnight. I recorded a second channel video last night, edited it. By the time I finished editing that, it was 4 a.m. And I'm just like, oh, Carlton Hawthorn is on. Let me try and watch it. Watched the first quarter, fell asleep. But still, waking up to this, it's been a nice weekend. And yesterday's stream, that the endings to those 2 games were just crazy. It's been a very nice weekend. Also, Man United lost on penalties, so that was funny. There's always something nice to add to the weekend. All it needed was the F1 race, but they're on a summer break for a month. So just reading some of the messages that I've missed while I was going on that happy rant. There was talk about Hull Fuddington about 65 to overtake the Blues, and it actually happened. I know, right? Bloody crazy. Nothing's obvious in 2024. That is true. I said in my ladder prediction stream that Hawks more like to make the 8 than Gold Coast. Well, I mean, was I wrong? Gold Coast are frauds, by the way. At home, they look like a Premiership winning team. Away, spoon contenders, mate. These guys are not serious. Replace them with someone else. You know what? Move them to Darwin and rename the team. Rebrand the whole team. No, actually, no. You know what? Just delete Gold Coast and make a new team in Darwin. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, I will not respect Gold Coast until they make the 8. Okay. I'm telling you right now. I'm never gonna predict them in the 8 until they actually make it. They could have the best trade season after September. I still won't back them. Anyway. But yeah, what a damn round. You were so close to tipping Geelong as well. You thought the Dogs 99% going to win. Even I thought they were going to win. I just tipped the Bulldogs just for the sake of it. I just thought, hey, let's tip a risk. I chose that for a risk. Clearly there were a lot of risks to go for instead, but I went for that one. At least it was right. Charlie kind of creating injury. Wait, what happened to him? Freo are cooked. You tipped West Coast and got it right, but your other upset tip was Melbourne and I lost. You also tipped Hawthorn. Obviously, everybody is an upset though. And the Swans are a game clear on top again. Indeed. I think the Swans should beat Adelaide at the SCG last day, so I think the Swans have got a minor premiership. It looked like they might drop down the ladder a bit a couple weeks ago, or even last week, but they just got to win one of the last 2 games. Even if they don't beat Essendon, they'll definitely beat Adelaide, I think. So the Swans they're still on bad form, of course, apart from the Collingwood game, but at least, you know, they'll keep their first place. I'd be surprised if they didn't get first place from here. But you never know. Swans have found a way to lose some interesting games this year. You was going to go to bed, but you saw a stream. Isn't it like 8:30 in Melbourne? That's not that late. You didn't say that about Gold Coast. Oh, you said that. I predicted Gold Coast to finish 8th in that stream, did I? It has ladder predictor though, because that one could always go off the rails, to be honest. That's why I said Hawks would make the 8, not the Suns. Well, I didn't put the Suns. I put the Suns like 17th, my actual ladder prediction. In fairness, mate. Essendon would be 7th right now. Who do I see as Premiership favourites? Honestly, right now it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell, man. Because for most of the season, I thought Sydney, but then they lost 4 in 5 or something. Now they don't look the dominant force they were most of the season. So now it's just like, okay, so that maybe they're not clear favourites then. I don't know who the favourites are. I was literally saying Brisbane the last few weeks because they were winning every single game. The Giants went and beat them. I didn't watch that game, so I don't know like how the game went, but I'm pretty sure Brisbane choked quite a big lead. So now I'm just confused. Now I'm just like, who is the flag favourites? I don't know. I don't know. Freo never joined the Saints. Freo forever, 0 premierships. You got Eagles, Geelong, Gold Coast, and Adelaide right. Flag mantle, more like choke mantle. Who's the top team now? Anyone's guess. Anyone's guess. Honestly, I can't. I don't know who the flag winner is. To say honestly, I couldn't tell you. I feel like the 8 is the situation of anyone can beat anyone. That's what the 8 looks like right now. It's one of those free for alls where, yeah, just anyone can win. Swans of flag was as well, one by accident. One by accident. Nah, mate, they're just Collingwood in the last quarter have been very questionable. In the previous week to Carlton, they had a 32-point lead. They still won, but if Carlton didn't choke the last set shot, they could have lost that game. And then the week after, Sydney do that from 27 points down in 15 minutes. Something is up over at Collingwood. They're choking quite a little bit recently. 2 wins over Brisbane, beat Hawthorn, and Port beat Geelong. Got 5 out of 9 with Geelong and Hawthorn the best tips. GWS can't lose finals, probably do it. Yeah, especially if they get top 4 as well. I think they can. They'll be very dangerous, I think. Yeah, you definitely have a point there. The Giants have the wood over the Swans in the finals, as they have 3-0 against Swans in the finals. GWS or even Port, based on the teams they've beaten recently. I mean, we'll see if Port can do it. I'm not convinced on them yet, but they are doing great. It's just that their finals form ain't so great. They're like, you know how Geelong used to be terrible at finals. They're like that, but a little bit worse. So I'm gonna reserve. If they win the flag, fair enough. But just the way I think about it, Port have done really well previously. I think recently they got 2 second-place finishes in a row. Both times they got embarrassed in the finals. One of those times the Bulldogs went to Adelaide in the prelim and just embarrassed them completely. So I'm not Port can win all their games now. I want to wait and see what they do in the finals before I judge them. But yeah, if the form they're on right now, if they bring that into the finals, yeah, they can win it. I just don't trust them in the finals, but we'll see. 2 head hole compers are giving up leads or coming from behind lately. It's annoying because if we didn't flop against Port Adelaide and GWS, we would have been up here. And then we would have been top 4. If we had big leads against Port Adelaide and GWS that we lost in the last quarter, we would have been top 4 if we won those 2 games. This season is crazy. Realising Dogs actually stuck at Adelaide Oval. Last 2 L's at Adelaide Oval. They've won at Adelaide Oval since they were never Port in the prelim. Damn, maybe the Bulldogs, basically against Port Adelaide in 2021, they made a deal. They basically sold their soul. So they sold their South Australian soul. So they smashed Port Adelaide and they made a deal. And because they smashed Port Adelaide, they can never win there again. It's a curse. It's a spell. I won, but at what cost? Now that Pies are technically out of chance for the finals, or maybe the deal was they had to win the flag that year, or they'd never win that level again. I'm interested to see who makes T8. GWS might be the flag faves, actually heading to the best sides. Hawks should make finals. Yeah, we definitely. I mean, we're playing North and Richmond. If we don't make it now, that's our own fault. We'd be higher than 4th mask, I think. We'd be on 56, right? And these 2 would have 4 points less. So we'd be 3rd, I think. As far as I know. Unless we had a better percentage than Geelong. Then potentially 2nd. Those 2 games we played against Geelong do hurt, though. One we're on bad form anyway, but the second one we're on good form, and they still run over us. I really hate that. We've been good against like good teams, but against Geelong, we just got obliterated twice. So I don't know. Part of me wants them in the finals just so we can get revenge, but another part of me is just like, do we want that smoke again? Because they got our number. Imagine Hawks listen off this week. Yeah. I mean, first of all, we're playing Richmond, but that would be crazy. North is round 24. Since teams 56 are GWS and Port, who just lost their wins. Hawthorn wouldn't have been as good if they didn't chuck versus Port. It taught them a very different lesson, a very important lesson. To be fair, you might have a point. Yeah, you might have a point there for Legend. Will I go over Hawks making the finals? There's zero chance of that happening, mate. I wish, but there's zero chance. Would definitely love to. But it would cost me an arm and a leg to even get a ticket for a start. And then I'd have to book the holiday 2 weeks in advance on top of that. Plus I need the money to book short... what's the word I want to use? Short notice flights to Melbourne from London. Imagine the cost of that. Booking it last minute. It's definitely out of my pay range right now, I'll tell you that much. Hawks will actually be second. Fremantle forever says Hawks overrated. Mate, you've been talking about flag mantle all season, and you're only 2 points above Hawthorn, who've only just been in the 8 for the first time this season. You should be embarrassed, Fremantle forever. Epic Indian, I go for both Dockers and GWS. What? See, meme number has 2 teams. It's not as bad as 16 teams. Hawks v Lions, easy. Lions can't beat Hawks. They can at the Gabba. And in Tasmania. They do beat us a lot in Tasmania, unfortunately. We obliterated Collingwood. Yeah, obliterated Collingwood, Richmond and Carlton. Bloody awesome. Bloody awesome indeed. Excuse me. Fail mantle, missed the 8 mantle. Hey, you better watch out, mate. You know, yeah, you got 3 teams on 48 points just below you. You got to watch out, mate. Yeah, you got to watch out a little bit. Fremantle forever. What would you do if you Hawks win the grand final? We can discuss that when that happens, mate. But I'm not expecting it this year. But if it does happen, oh my days. Are we going to do round 23 tips or not? Yeah, we definitely should. But yeah, because there's so many comments, I want to read them all. Freo could be second, didn't play for Agolitage, Acer and Geelong. Says the one that goes for Team to Gold Coast Suns. Oh, that was crazy, man. Watching that live, seeing Gold Coast win after the siren, win their first away game, that was crazy. Swans GWS Grand Final, Victorians control at the backside. Essendon could have been first if they won each week, and 18th if they lost each week. Alright. The comments keep coming, so I got a tip at some point. So to go through these tips, I tipped Sydney at the start. Obviously, they've been on bad form, but I had a feeling they'd beat Collingwood. And for most of the game, they were not beating Collingwood, but they had a good start to the first 2 quarters. Looked like a struggle for a lot of the game, but in the end, from 27 points down, they came back. Yesterday, I remember saying Carlton almost did 32 points against them, but I can't see Sydney doing it based on their current form. But they did it. They did it despite their bad form. They did it. So yeah, that win I think should secure the minor premiership. I know it's not over yet, but they got Adelaide at home in 2 weeks. I don't see them losing that, but I guess you never know. The season's quite unpredictable. Brisbane GWS. I don't see it as a silly tip because Brisbane had won every game since the bye round. They've been on great form. The Giants have been very up and down, but obviously finding form recently. Only just beat Hawthorn the previous week, though. Brisbane playing much better. I thought, yeah, sure, Brisbane are going to win, but they lost. And apparently they were ahead by quite a lot as well. So I don't know if it was Brisbane being chokers or Giants being very good or just both. But that was a very surprising result to see. This is not as surprising, to be honest, but I thought North would do it. Early lost by 5 points, though. They didn't lose by that much. So, yeah, last week I tipped Richmond against North. North won. This week I tipped North and they lost to West Coast. This season is something else. And I bet there's people in the gauntlet left based on those 2 games. 431 people left. 431 people left. My days. Is someone going to win? Are they going to eliminate that many people in 2 rounds? Do they share the... What is the prize anyway? Is it like money? What is it? Freo Geelong. I thought Freo would win. I wanted Freo to win as well. But fair play to Geelong. That is a good win for them. Essendon Gold Coast. I was very shocked by this, but I do not care because it was really funny seeing them lose that. That was just hilarious the way they lost. And I got the last 4 right. Give me a sec. Got a phone call. Sorry about that. Oh, we got a Premier League fan in the chat. Wait, so Premier League prediction, and it's a disgrace for Southampton bottom. Do you know anything about football, Southampton? Bro, I want to be wrong for a start. And second, I looked at a lot of people's predictions after I did mine. And a lot of people have them like bottom 5, bottom 4. So like, it's not like I'm the only one saying this. But, you know, good luck to you. Hopefully you do well. People still saying for Richmond round 24. Possible. Anyway, yeah, I got the last 4 right. Port Adelaide beating Melbourne. Only just, but they did it. Carlton getting absolutely smashed. I knew we would beat them. I had a feeling. I had a good feeling about the game. I was still a bit worried, but to smash them like that, that makes it even sweeter. Saints against Richmond. I tipped Richmond first. I wanted to take a risk because I felt like I didn't take any big risks before this in terms of my tips. So I thought I got to take a risk. I tipped Richmond and I thought, you know what? I trusted Richmond last week. They lost to North Melbourne. I'm going to change my mind. Instead, I'm going to tip Adelaide as my risk. And it looked silly at the time, but Adelaide have won. So... yeah, 5 out of 9, considering how bad Saturday went for me, for the most part, 5 out of 9 is definitely something I will take right now. So, yeah, there you go. '15th to 14th. It's not that much higher, to be fair. But it's obviously safety. So, yeah, we got these 9 games here. Very interesting. Alright, I'm going to tip Sydney to beat Essendon. After losing to Gold Coast first away win ever. Of course, obviously I tipped against Gold Coast because they haven't won away yet, but they now have won away. I think if they lose that, they can lose to Sydney. So, Sydney by 7. They normally have quite good games. I think they have another ripper of a game on Friday. And, yeah. Gold Coast against Melbourne. Gold Coast, even though they are frauds, I don't think they're as much of frauds this season as Melbourne. I think Melbourne have been worse. When you consider standards, Gold Coast never been in the 8s. Melbourne have been in the finals the last few years. By standards, Melbourne's having a much worse season, and I think these fans would agree. If Gold Coast are a disgrace, than what are Melbourne doing down here. So, but that's a different discussion. That's not even like who's going to win. I just think Gold Coast will beat Melbourne comfortably. I think it'll be at least 4 goals. GWS Fremantle. I think GWS will win. I want to see Fremantle make the 8, but it's not looking good, Brev. It's not looking good, Brev. Collingwood against Brisbane. A very interesting game. I would have tipped Brisbane before the Giants game. Yeah, by the way, soccer does stand for football. Soccer is short for association football. Yeah, up the Whiteys is correct there. Soccer. I'm going to type it because I want to sound smart. Yes, I'm smart, guys. I'm smart. Can we not have these sport comparison comments in the chat, please? So, what the best sport is all subjective. There's nothing wrong with anything saying anything's the best sport. Let's stop arguing about it and let's all enjoy the sports that we like. Because every time all I see is people crying. Because we get it in England as well with like football, rugby, and cricket. Oh, cricket's the best, rugby's the best, football's the best. Everyone's crying this, that. Flipping, just enjoy the sports that you like. No one cares. I'm pretty sure Up the Whiteys is a football thing, mate. It's nothing to do with. It's not to do with like any sort of racism. You got to calm down here, mate. You got to relax. Where was I? I was tipping. I was in the middle of tipping. Collingwood, Brisbane by 100 points. Yeah, but after the Giants game, I'm a little confused on who to tip. I'll come back to this one. I think Port will beat the Adelaide Crows. I think they'll get their revenge on this round. But you never know. They hate each other, so could at least be a close game. Geelong, I'm very confident in right now. I know Saints just won another game. Saints are in good form in the last few weeks. But I think Geelong will beat them. Because Geelong are serious. Saints have been on good form, but Brisbane still smashed them at Marvel. And just like Brisbane, Geelong are also very much serious. A little too serious for the Saints right now. The Bulldogs beat North. That's the easiest tip all week. We'll beat Richmond. These are the 2 easiest tips all week. I'm going to tip West Coast to beat Carlton. Let's do this, Eagles. They're the Eagles. The West Coast Eagles. Brisbane are winning by 100 points. What you're on, David? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna tip Brisbane. But if they lose this, oh my days. So yeah, I've gone for one risk. Yeah, I've gone for one risk. Bit boring, to be honest. But I don't trust Essendon. I don't trust Melbourne. Giants are playing too well right now to lose to Fremantle. I don't trust Collingwood. Although I almost didn't. I almost tipped them, actually. I do trust Adelaide, but I just think Port will be too good for them. Same as St Kilda. I kind of trust St Kilda to do something, but I think Geelong will be too good for them. I definitely trust Western Bulldogs. I do trust Hawthorn, but obviously because I support them, I'm a bit pessimistic. I'm always scared about every game. But we should beat Richmond again. And West Coast, I think they're the most likely underdog to win. More likely than St Kilda, maybe. I don't know, maybe Adelaide's more likely to win than West Coast. I feel like West Coast are one of the most likely underdogs to win this round. Brisbane by 88 points. Kind of averaging 9 goals a game against them in that time. Brisbane won. They won 9 in a row. That's crazy. They went from season over to we are them. But then they lost. Gunners kicked 24 goals past 3 games against the Eagles. Yeah, well, Carlton were also top 2 at one point. Look at them now. So Gold Coast lost every away game. That ended yesterday. So yeah, these are my tips. We'll see how it goes. Only 2 away teams, which is a bit worrying because of the amount of home teams that lost in this round. But we move. Brisbane won 9 in a row. They lose to the Pies because still missed the 8. They're not going to miss the 8. Look, last week you suggested Sydney will miss the 8. Like you love to exaggerate things, mate. Remember last year when Geelong were chasing finals, got smashed by St Kilda. True, but I don't think that's happening today. Or, I mean, this week. Why does it not turn up straight away? I feel like I've gone to this website quite a lot. By request of someone in the chat, I think it was Captain LF. We shall do this. Sydney by 7. Gold Coast by 29. Giants by 3 goals. Brisbane by 22. Geelong by 26. Port Adelaide by 15. Western Bulldogs will beat North. I'll go 49 points. Hawthorn to beat the Tigers. 52 points. West Coast to beat Carlton. 13 points. Brisbane, Essendon. I'll go Brisbane win by 4 goals exactly. Carlton to beat Saints, I think. But let's say it's a fairly close game. That puts Carlton in the 8. Geelong to beat West Coast. 21 points. Just 21. Hawthorn to beat North by 37. That puts us 6th. Melbourne, Collingwood. Melbourne by 1. I'm tipping no draws in this. Oh dear. The stoppable force versus the movable object. Well, Gold Coast have won an away game now, so I'm going to trust them here. Gold Coast to win by 4. Wow, they're 10th. Wow, that's crazy, guys. They actually climbed up the ladder. Sydney will beat Adelaide, I think. I'll go 5-goal win. So that gets in the Manor Premiership. Western Bulldogs against GWS. This could be anything, this one. This could be absolutely anything. And look how much you can change everything as well. Dogs by 2. Fremantle, I think, will beat Port. I'm going to go 10 points. So, if everything happens, this is the 8 that I got. If everything I predicted happens. This is the 8 that I got. Said we quick a lot of predictions for the last round. Wouldn't it be funny if you did AFL tips on every single AFL tip website you know of. Gold Coast will finish the year with 1 loss. 1 loss at home, that's how it works. The Hawks v Dogs elimination final. No more Hawks v Dogs grand final. Relax, mates. Alright, I'm going to tip this and we'll see what happens. Sydney, I got Sydney in the prelim then. But this is because I don't trust Port Adelaide, not because I trust Sydney. I just trust Port Adelaide. I just don't trust Port Adelaide in the finals. I think the Giants would beat Freo. I'll put the Hawks there. Go Hawks. Geelong, Brisbane. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Brisbane break the MCG duct. Geelong Hawthorn semi, yeah? That wasn't even on purpose either. That just happened. It is quite hard to tip, you know. Port, Geelong. Sydney, Port. I don't know. This could be anything, man. I could tip any team in any game here, and it would look okay because like anyone can beat anyone in the 8. Oh my days. Sydney lost to Port by 20 goals in 1 week. 1 week ago, you said a bit in the finals. Are you drunk? Hey, you're the one who thinks we win the flag, even though we got smashed by Geelong twice. Is there a big difference there? Be interesting and make at least one team go out straight sets. Then tips Port to beat GWS when they lost to them in the semi-finals last year. Yeah, so what? This season's very unpredictable. How do you know the finals is also? How do you know the finals are going to be like suddenly predictable when the regular season wasn't? Like I don't get it. What's going on? That's like you saying last week. Gold Coast lost every away game. There's no way anyone thinks Gold Coast will win. Things change, mates. What were my thoughts on Hawk result? Well, you can see the intro of the stream. I'm very happy, to say the least. He doesn't trust Port, hasn't been gotten the ground. Yeah, it's an unpredictable season, mate. Unpredictable season. I know why 69-420 is laughing. He thought Fremantle finished first. Where are you now, mates? You're bloody down here, mates. 2 points from 9th. That's where you are. I didn't say you said I said that. I said if you said that last week, that's basically the type of comment you're saying right now. What makes you think Port can be Brisbane at the Gabba? Brisbane lost a few times to the Gabba, mate. They've lost like 5 times there this season. This ain't 2023. 69-420 2 weeks ago, it was so confident. It was like, flag mantle, we're going to get the minor premiership. Then they lose twice in a row. I did a Premier League season prediction. Already done it, mate. Did a whole video on it. I put Southampton 20th. Freo could be 8 out of the 8 by next week. I mean, they're going to lose to the Giants. We know this. So they got to win the last game against Port. Who do I want to miss the 8? Carlton or Freo? Carlton. Because I like Freo. I want them to do well, but they are so like... They're bottling hard right now. They're not doing so great. But if you told me we'd be above Carlton, Essendon, Collingwood and Melbourne before the start of the season, I would have laughed at you, but here we are. You can throw Adelaide in there as well, because Adelaide I thought were going to be good this season. Even St Kilda. Like, even if you said we'd be above St Kilda, I'd be like, no we won't. Season ended by a beautiful man from Sudan. Only one can make it. You say that, but what if the dogs drop out? How do you know it won't be the dogs? I don't think it'll be the dogs, by the way. I think the dogs will win they'll win at least one of the last 2 games. They'll get to the finals. But I'm saying, like, you're so confident it's going to be either Carlton or Fremantle. What if they both make it and the dogs miss out? You know, this season's so unpredictable. It's possible. Would be so funny if Carlton missed finals. Can you imagine? The fact they lost to Collingwood again as well, which is just even funnier. The man being for Zidane probably pisses Essendon fans off even more. Oh, bro, I saw a Twitter post. AFL made a Twitter post about obviously about him winning the game for the Gold Coast Suns, and the replies are just all angry Essendon fans saying, "But he hit someone early in the game." This is so salty. In Freo v Port, will you go for Port to let Carlton in? I'm going to tip Freo in that game. I'm convinced they'll beat Port Adelaide in round 24. I'm very convinced by that. But yeah. Well, this has been fun. What a memorable round this has been for many different reasons. This season just gets crazier and crazier, and it looks like we're in for another roller coaster of a ride. Yeah, the dogs are not going to drop out, to be fair. There's no way they lose to North. An interesting last 3 games on Sunday. A very interesting last 3 games. Carlton could take many L's in this period. Imagine Essendon win as well, and then they overtake Carlton. There's a lot of possibilities in this round. A lot of possibilities. So there you go. Hawks took revenge of that last game in 2017. I lost to cost us finals. We cost finals in 2017. I swear they had a really bad season. Remember that black and white shot? Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah. Was that 2017? I feel like the season from now just get more insane for the 2020s based on this year and last year. Well, we shall see what happens. We shall see what happens. You might even see a Sunday stream for me here because 9:10 is pretty good. Like, that's 2 hours later than when it normally on Sunday it goes 4, 6, 7. Yeah, it goes 4:10, 6:20, 7:40. So I never watch Sunday games because they're so early. But in round 24, it says 9:10. I'm just like, ooh, that's nice, that is. So yeah. Listen, I reckon I would have preferred this game on Friday night, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I feel like they could have put... Actually, I don't know. I'm trying to think what would be a good last game of the season, but like I was going to say Brisbane Essendon, but Essendon might be already out by then anyway. I don't know, we'll see. Imagine if the top 14 teams next year are fighting for the 8. Yeah, I guess we'll see about that, mate. If Carlton beat West Coast, they'll know exactly how many points they have to beat St Kilda by to kick Hawks out of the 8 percentage. Didn't Carlton play before Hawthorn though? So how's that gonna work? No, oh yeah, no, they play after. Okay, I was thinking round 23. Interesting. But how'd you know we both won't make it? Anyway, these are my tips. We've been live 45 minutes to tip 9 games. It's crazy. Hope you enjoyed the stream. This has been fun. And give Conor every Sunday 12:40 game or 110. Yeah, this has been a crazy stream. How many likes is this on? 8 likes. So YouTube does a YouTube. Well, when you split the screen, it doesn't show you how many likes it has. You got to widen it and maximize it. I'm just like, well, why are you gonna do this? I'll show you what I mean right now. Look, right. So here's what I look at. Right. Oh, it shows it here. But like normally it's like halfway through and it just shows this. So I'm just like, it's halfway. It's just showing this. I got to widen it until I see the likes. I'm just like, why is that necessary? Why can't you just put it there anyway? You can just put it below. Yeah, stupid idiots. To be fair, I could just scroll, but like it should be on one page. Now it's on 11 likes. Whoa! How many likes can we get? Jeez. What just happened? Just lost the chat for a second, but we're fine. Everyone liked the stream. Sue YouTube for that. I don't know about that one, Chief. Pretty sure suing takes a while as well. Even if for a legitimate reason. But yeah. If Blues beat Eagles by 100, they could jump the Hawks big time. We'll see about that one, mate. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And shout out to the 3 Big Trooper members, Ravinho, Ethan, and your average target frog. None of which have been here today, but they're probably asleep. See you later.